Hello everyone, this is Jamaica. Can you give me 1 second? I'm gonna pull myself up on the screen so I can see the chat. It always takes me a little while. Always. Let me get back. I'll pass it this time. I got promotions. There it is. There I am. There I am. Always. Well, hello everyone. This is Jamaica with Jamaica Life, and today's video is going to be on the upplanting. There I am. After I turn this down. Hello, this is Jamaica Life, and today's video is going to be on the upplanting of my tree collards and my regular collards. I forget what these were. I forget. I think they're Georgia collards, but these are my tree collards. Look at that. See that? The bugs are still out. This is what happened to my last tree collards. And remember, we both planted these. I think I did it live. I'm not sure. However, there's a whole bunch of them in here, and I'm going to show you how I separate them because people need to know. Inquiry minds want to know. You don't have to plant your seeds in a seed tray. You don't have to do it. You can plant them in one planter. It saves space, and the plants seem to enjoy it with the exception of the bugs. See that? Them bugs are something else. I'm gonna take these damaged leaves off. It's kind of irritating me. I only have a few. They just started in, so I think I'm gonna leave these in and put them in the grow station for a while because there it is. They're still doing it. Hello, the cargo hustler. How are you doing? So I brought some of my pots in from outside. All right, I have a whole bunch of these. I got these from Bootstrap Farm, if you all want to know, and I have them in different colors. So what color am I gonna do? Purple. That's what I want to use. And yes, these pots, I use them over and over again, so excuse me. They're going to be dirty anyway. So we're going to start off with our tree collars. I'm going to take these little collars and put them over here. I only have 5 of these. Well, maybe 6 of these that came up. It's more than it looks like, right? Over here, though, this is what I'm excited about because I wanted tree collars, and here they are. So we have our pots here. I brought a bunch of pots in here to get these up planted. So first things first, I'm going to take this and I'm going to pull them out. Hello with love, Elsa. Issa, I'm sorry. Happy Friday to you too. I hope I said your name right. So look at that. Look at that. They've been in here for a while. So I have to work on separating them. All right. So I work from the bottom, right? Usually. Let me put this here. I don't make my table all nasty or nastier than it's gonna be. It's gonna be a mess. It's a glass table. I'll just clean it off like I always do. So you see I'm working the bottom of it and I'm getting all of as much soil as I can out of here. And I am gonna lose some root. I'm gonna lose some root whether, oh, I did do it on live. Okay, great. Oh, and I said your name right. Great. So I take these, right, and I try to get as much dirt off of these as I can. The roots will come back. They always do. The plant is resilient. The plant wants to live. As long as you get some root on the plant, most of the time they will survive. And then I'm just gonna pull, see this? I'm gonna pull them apart. All right, gently. Not so gently that I can't get them apart, but you see, I'm stretching them out. And yeah, you're gonna hear roots. You're gonna hear roots. So I have 3 here, and I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, 6 of them here. Let's start off with the smaller one, right? Here we are. So we work and we get them apart until we get one off. There we are. We have one that has roots on it. Put this to the side. I'm gonna grab some soil. And this soil is muddy, got caught in the rain. I have a bucket of soil down here that I purchased. I do buy soil for, or compost for my seedlings. That's just an expense that I'm willing to incur, because if they're in a pot, they need the extra nutrients. And so I'm gonna take this, right? You see this? Here's my pot. Do not go above that lip. We're gonna pat this down a little bit. We're gonna do an indentation. See that? I hope you can. The light's not that very good here. And I'm gonna put this in here, and then let me get my shovel. I'm gonna get some more soil, and I'm gonna fill it, making sure I cover all of the roots. I'm just rustic, so I'm gonna use my hand. Hello, Miss Shirley OG Gardner. How you doing? Hello, Shay J. How are you doing? Good morning to you. And there we have it. One tree collard is done. Remember how Jesus turned one loaf of bread into many? It's kind of the same thing. I'm not Jesus though. God, don't get me. But it looks like it's less than it actually is. So we have one tree collard done. Make sure I put enough soil in here. And I always fill it up to the lip. You see that? You see this right here? This is your lip, and it's about 1 inch. This is considered a 5-inch pot because it's 5 inches from here to here. But when you measure, it'll be 6. So that's one done. One done. Another purple pot. Get some more soil. I hope everybody's having a happy Friday. I know it's been a while since I came on for a live planting, but I mean, it's fall. You still have time. In most places in the South, up north, it's still warm up there too, because I just came from up north. You still got time too, if you can get some quick crops in there. With these collards, I would put them in a pot like I'm doing, and I grow them in the pot. So when the freeze comes, you could drag them in your house. That's what I would do, especially with the tree collards. The tree collards are a perennial, which is why I want to grow them, because they don't die. They don't die off every year. So we have 2 more here, right? Cheryl T, how are you doing? How you doing? Welcome. Happy Friday. These plants, these tree collards, you could tell that their stems are thick. They feel like a tree. So I have another one here, right? And I'm going to make, well, I don't really need a lot of dentation. I just need enough to get these roots down in here. So I make a hole, right? Make it wide. Dig a hole, make it wide. For those of y'all who've been in the military know what I'm talking about. So there we go. And then we're going to take some soil and backfill it. Press it down. Don't press it down a lot, but press it down in order to get some of the air pockets out of there, the big air pockets. You don't want to press it down hard because you want some air in this. You want the soil to be a bit aerated, and this soil is wet, so it doesn't have much air in it at right now. So that's 2 done. Moving right along. I told you all that planting in one little pot, they all came out of here, works. It works. I think it works better. I think the plants, when you plant them separately, even when you plant them separately, most people put 2 to 3 seeds in there. But when you plant them in bulk like this, and you put, I think I put maybe 8 seeds in here, maybe. I forget. They come up. They come up because they're not lonely, and they're protected. They protect one another, especially if they're outside. I don't like what's going on out there. The bugs have come back, and they started eating my tree collards again. So they're going to stay inside for a little while. They're going to stay inside for a little while. I'm taking some of this root off because all this root does not belong to this plant, right? And I'm going to pat this down, put a hole in here to put these roots down in here. With the next one, I'm going to try to bring you closer. Well, good, we're live. I forget. I can't edit. I'm so used to, editing. Oh, this is not deep enough. See? Look at that. This is what you call leggy, but this here was underground. So I'm going to do it again. I'm not afraid to pull it up and make the hole deeper, just so I can get it stabilized. I don't want it flopping all over the place. We call that leggy. It's a little bit leggy, but shoot. I don't have to make it worse. I want it stabilized. I want it standing up. You see that? It's standing up now. That's what I want. Especially since it's going to be inside and there's not going to be any wind. Every now and then, if you're growing seedlings inside, blow on it, because you want your stems to get hard. If they're inside, there's no wind, there's no elements moving the plants. There's no elements moving the plants. So you got to take your hand and shake them around, because you want your stem to get thick. This was in the greenhouse, so it was getting a little bit of wind and natural sunlight. I took it outside, I think around 14 days ago, maybe less. Just before I went on vacation, I put them in the greenhouse. So but when I put them in the greenhouse, look, bug damage. That wasn't there before. That was not there. So I'm gonna try to get another one off. This one is a small one. Got it. There we are. And we're gonna put some soil in the pot. I was in a live stream a couple of weeks ago, and the ladies were talking about what type of soil they buy. Now you do have to be careful, because I have bought soil, and it doesn't matter what brand, that was full of insects. It doesn't matter what brand. It happens all the time. It may happen when they're when they're outside, because a lot of these stores put their soil, their potting soil, outside, and it gets wet like this one did. But this got wet at my house, so that wasn't their fault. They put their soil outside, and sometimes insects get inside those bags. So to me, stick with what you know, what you want, what you can afford. I buy cheap soil, but I buy the same type soil over and over again. And the thing I found out is that every bag is not the same. And it's not just, unless you're having peat moss, perlite, cocoa core, something like that, something that is consistent, every bag of compost or soil or every batch is different. It's different. It's got different living organisms in it, and the consistency is never the same. So I just buy what I can afford. I buy what I can afford, and if I have a bad experience, well, sometimes you just have to deal with it if it has insects in it. So I got, wow, there are 3 of them here, and this one is really small. I think I'm gonna put those 2 together, but look at this one. Look at that tree color. Isn't that beautiful? I'm running out of purple, but I got some blue, and I got some blue, I got some green, I got some orange. I bought more than enough pots in here because I kind of knew this is gonna happen. And then, if I run out of soil, well then, I'm gonna stop planting. So I'm not going in the garage to get another bag of soil, but I'm gonna do as much as I can with what I have out here. Let me check the chat. So Cheryl T said, hello, Jamaica. Cheryl T here from Houston. So glad to catch up. I'm in the Austin area. Yeah, Texan. Now, people who are not from Texas think that Houston is close to Austin. I'm Central Texas, and she's more on the east side. She's probably closer to Louisiana than Austin. But she's still in Texas, so we're Texans, and we all kind of understand, because we're all in Texas. Not to say that anywhere else is, any different. I just, I'm in Texas, so our zones are kind of the same most of the time. Texas is a big state, though. You could be, I think, anywhere from 8A all the way down to about 10. Because if you go to the Padre Islands, shoot, I've been down there in December, and it was warm. As a matter of fact, one time I remember, New Year's, I remember getting in the pool on New Year's in Texas, down in the Padre. Don't do that in Austin, though. Shoot, you catch a death cold. The Educated Natural, how you doing? I'm missing a lot of people. Everyday Life of OCD-ish chick, hello, how you doing? Let me see. Wellness with Frugal Mama, how you doing? If I forgot anybody, wait a minute. In his presence, hi, how you doing? Make sure I didn't forget anybody. I'm going to go through and make sure. If I forgot you, charge it to my head and not my heart, because I want to say hello to everybody. I appreciate you coming out here. So that's another one. All right, the table getting a little full. Y'all can't see it, but I'll show it to you after we finish this batch, and then we'll move on to the regular collards. Get another one out here. So here we go. So my point is, I buy, ooh, look at that. I buy potting soil for seedlings. So, you know, don't think that I don't go out there and spend money. I try to stay within my means. I try to, you know, just like Frugal Mama, I try to be as frugal as possible. I don't want to go into debt trying to garden. What I'm trying to do is get something that is healthier, definitely healthier. Man, it's so scary out there. Definitely healthier, but get this off the ground. And save money at the same time. Every time I go to the grocery store, they go up by a dime. Tomatoes are almost $1 now. And I know that's low, but that's in Texas. We don't get paid as much as everybody else. Example, if I said it's 99 cents for a pound of tomatoes in New York City, they'd be like, what? That's cheap, because they make more money there. Down here, we get paid less. So things have to be cheaper. The economies are different. Everybody thinks that because we're all in the United States, all of the prices are going to match. That is not true. I know, because I got to go shopping for my mom in New York, and those prices they're high. They're high. Wellness with Frugal Mama, how you doing? Let me see if I missed anything. Cheryl T, I'm actually in Cyprus, about an hour and a half away. I'm in Austin all the time. All right. Well, you know, Austin is I came here when I came here about 20 years ago. I came to visit. And then I decided, yep, I want to live here. But I wanted to go to San Antonio. Had never been to San Antonio. I had been to Austin. And so I go and I get a realtor in San Antonio, because I knew I was getting out. I was retiring from the military. I was just done with that. After that long, I was getting too old to be in the military. I was just like, I got to get out of here. So I went to San Antonio finally, right? Because I envisioned all of this beauty. And it is beautiful. But San Antonio is historical. A lot of the stuff there, like the Alamo, and the Alamo is really small. People think it's big. The Alamo and the Riverwalk. Well, the Riverwalk is huge. But the part where everybody goes is not that big. Not that big. And San Antonio, as I said, San Antonio is beautiful. Beautiful. But I don't like old stuff. It reminded me a little bit of New York. So I came back up to Austin, and I picked a house in the Austin area. And that's where I am. I never left. I go back home to visit my mom. As a matter of fact, I recently went to New York City to go visit my family. So that's where I'm from. And I was born in the city, but I like the country. And I like gardening. You got to have land for that, right? In New York City, their plots of land are really small. They're really small. I went into my mom's backyard, and I was like, wow. Wow. The side of my house is bigger than her backyard. That's why I like Texas. That's why I like the South, because you get more for your money, even though you make less. You could live off that money. You can make it stretch if you don't overspend, which is why I do my own seedlings. Have you all checked out the prices of seedlings? Oh my goodness. Now I got a little scrawny one here on the side. I got to get off. Let me see. The prices of seedlings are outrageous. I'm growing my own. And doesn't this look better than what you buying out there? And I'm not going to say the name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know the company I'm talking about. Everybody gets the same company at those big box stores, unless you go to a nursery. And whew, every time I go to the big box store and look at the seedlings, don't get me wrong, I did buy one seedling. It was a what was it? Rosemary. It was $5, and I was fussing at myself the entire time because I told you guys I'm frugal. But the prices of these seedlings are just, you got to do a mortgage to get those seedlings. Miss Shirley is saying hi. Shani 2003, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Long time, no live stream for me. I appreciate you coming consistently. Thank you. So the price of the seedlings, the price of the vegetables, and then recalls. I keep on watching several YouTubers talk about the recalls. Are they even selling lunch meat anymore? Because I haven't been back to the store. As a matter of fact, I had some lunch meat here because I wanted a sandwich one day, right? And that's weird because it's the recalls out the wazoo, if that's a good word to say. And I hardly ever eat lunch meat, but I wanted lunch meat. So I said, well, you can either cook your own turkey and a backyard garden. Newbie. Oh, you're a newbie. Good afternoon. How you doing? So I hardly ever eat any lunch meat. So I took that lunch meat and I heated it up because after I got it home, I thought about it. I was like, do you really want to end up in the ER for a sandwich? So it's just cucumbers. I mean, they're doing recalls on a lot of stuff. I didn't have to worry about cucumbers. You know why? Because I grew them in my yard. I didn't have to worry about it. When they said cucumbers and talking about, don't eat them, I was like, shoot, I'm eating my cucumbers because I know mine don't have listeria or whatever they had on it. Listeria, man, that'll hurt. That could send you to an early grave. I have a food handler's license. Well, I had one. I don't know. Probably need to retest. That can hurt you really bad, and it's not a good way to go. Not a good way to go. Nobody wants to go like that. And there are people who actually pass away from listeria. And there's other foodborne pathogens. All right, so here we go. The scary part is you don't actually find out about the recalls until someone's already either passed away or been in the hospital, several people have been in the hospital because they're doing damage control. Those companies are doing damage control, and they have to narrow it down because we eat a lot of stuff. We eat a lot of things, and shoot, I know I do. One minute I'll be eating popcorn, the next minute I'll be eating, I don't know, a beef sandwich or something, a chicken sandwich or something, or rice and peas. I eat a lot of things, so it's very hard to narrow down, say that salad is what got me, unless, well, with food poisoning, you usually know soon, because I've had food poisoning, unfortunately. Food poisoning is no joke. Might as well put this on the ground. I got dirt all over the place. So let me show you how many tree collards we had from this little pot. Y'all ready for this? Do. That's 4. Make sure I get them in there. I don't have to water these because this soil, look at my hands, but this soil is wet. 8. And 1 more. 9. 9 of them. I got 9 tree collards from this little pot. Planting in bulk, planting in these little cups works. Anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. All you have to do is make sure you water, especially when there's seeds. I have a little squirt gun here. It's not even a squirt gun. Let me show you what I use most of the time. Depending on what type of seed it is, I have a watering jug, right? But most of the time when I put seeds in there, like in this little pot, I use this. Use this to water it because it doesn't move the seeds around. And if the seeds are super small, I use my hair mister. That's what I do. Missed it. If it's small seeds like callaloo, all of your herb seeds, and the seeds with the smaller seeds, you have to put them directly on the top of the soil, and you don't bury the smaller seeds. The smaller the seed is, the less dirt you put on top. And some of these seeds, like uh, callaloo, what else is small? A lot of the herbs are super small. Missed it. Put it on top and missed it until you start seeing it sprout. And then you take this thing, right? And you get real close to it and you water it as close as possible because you don't want those little seedlings to move around. Don't want it. So that is our tree collards. Let's move this forward and then we'll do our regular collards. We got this one right here. So I know what colors I have. I'm gonna use the different color for the regular collards. And because the bugs are bad, and last spring, my tree collards, they ate them till they were gone. Same thing happened. Same status. Put it outside, and every flying insect that ate leaves started chewing up my tree collards until I didn't have any left. So this year, I'm just going to wait for most of the bugs to pass away. That should be around maybe the beginning of next month or the end of this month. I'm just going to play it by ear because we got an early cool spell here in Texas, but I know this isn't normal. I've been here 20 years. I know when I'm being tricked. It's a trick. Summer's not over. So we got all 9 of those out of this little cup. And you can see I must have bought apparently I bought a seedling. I don't throw these things out. I use them over and over again. And we may use this on this live to plant some of the plants that passed away when I was on vacation. So here are our normal collards. Let me check the chat. Southern City Girl Gardening, how you doing? Passionately intrigued arts and more. PIA is what we call her. How are you doing? Okay, so let me see. GT Junior. I don't see you, but I see somebody say hello to you. All right, hello. Oh, there you are. GT Junior grows in Alaska. How are you doing? Wellness Frugal Mama. I said that. What in the word? All right, how you doing? Welcome. So we are on. If I forgot you, I am so sorry. I'm just gonna scroll through. Anna's Backyard Garden. Oh yeah, I already said something to you. Cheryl T. Make sure. Okay. So we have our regular collards, right? Those are all our tree collards, and I'm running out of room, so I need to push those up a little bit. That's why I like these big pots, because they don't topple over when you slide them across this table. I'm probably scratching up the table, but this table has been through worse. So we got some in here. These are regular collards. So I'm gonna use a different color. I'm gonna use blue. Move them all over here. We're gonna put this pot over here so we can see it, and move this right here. So here we are with our regular collards. And I didn't mark these, right? So you know what I had to do? Because I always do this and I always get mad at myself. I had to go back, look at the video, and figure out what the small pot was and what the big pot was. And remember, I planted 2 of these, 2 of the tree collards, 2 separate packs of tree collards, and 2 of the taller pots. See, this one is shorter, right? So I didn't know if this was regular collards or this was regular collards, but I put the tree collards in there. And you know, 1 pack of seeds was no good. None of them came up, not one. And the other one, all of them came up apparently, because I got 9. So, you know, sometimes it's not you, it is the seed. It is the seed. Sometimes the seed's not any good. So here we are with our normal collards, and we're going to split these just like we did the last one. And this is how we did it in school. I went to school for agriculture, high school. I went to a vocational high school for agriculture and horticulture. So this is how we did it in school. I don't remember if we bulk planted, but I do remember separating them because we put more than 1 seed in each pod. Come on in. We had a little store where we sold seedlings and flowers. So here we are. I split them in half. I got 4 on this side and 2 on this side. Let's start with the smaller one, the smaller side, the two side. Get our pot, slide it across my tile floor that I just mopped. I always do that. I always clean the floor and then I go and plant something and make a mess. Y'all saw all that dirt that fell off one of them plants. Oh, so God, no. I knew that would happen. All right, so we're gonna break this soil up. We don't want any clumps, right? We're gonna make our hole for the plant. Move this down so you can see the ones that I'm working with. So here we are, still seeing tree collards, and I want to knock the camera down. So here we are. We have 2 here, right? And you take them and you wiggle them apart until they come apart. Very easy, right? You put the collard into the pot or any seedling. You could do this with any seedlings because in a minute, I'm probably going to do something with the ones that passed away, the bok choy and the cabbage. My green acre cabbage did not, those seeds were old. They did not come up enough for me. So I didn't get enough green acre cabbage to make it count. So I'm gonna have to do it over. That's why I plant so early, because if something goes astray, does not germinate, I still have time to go ahead and plant it. So that is 1 regular collard, and I know that it is a collard because it's in a different color pot. It's 1 down. Get another blue pot. And some more soil. I'll be in the chat in just a second. I'm running out of soil, by the way. So I might not get them all done, but I'm gonna try. Not gonna skimp on the soil because of that though. So here we are. We have another one here. Gonna make a hole down here. Take this regular collard, put it in there. Apparently the bugs like collards. Who knew? A lot of people like collards though. I prefer turnips. I just want some collards because I eat collards. Okay, actually, it depends on who cooks the collards. Because some people can cook. Their collards taste just like, I don't know. They don't taste like collards. They cook it. It was tender, flavorful, probably full of pork. For those of you who want to know. I remember there was one guy who could cook so good, I started flirting with him. And I don't flirt, but I'm a sucker for somebody to cook. I was flirting with that brother. He was probably already married. I don't know. I didn't even look. He started blushing. Well, what did I say to him? I said, oh, I just love a man who can cook. And I started batting my eyes. It was a joke to me, but man, he started giggling. He was cooking at the time. He was on the grill. He was on the grill. That man could cook. I think he was from Louisiana. Man, I could see him cooking. And the thing is, we had so much bad food at the time that having somebody who could cook was refreshing. You know, when you eat just bland food for a long time and somebody come and bring something that you're not used to. You go in there, you just drag yourself in because, I'm talking about the military. You just drag yourself in because you know you got to eat, right? Because you got to stay alive. So you got to eat something. But man, when he came, we're going to leave. But when he came, man, everything changed. I said, man, hope they pay you a lot of money because you done changed the status in this here facility. GT Jr.'s laughing. I might ask him to marry me. I know it's not my place. I think I was serious at the time, too. I thought he was an angel. That food was so bad. Not his food. The food before he came was so bad. So bad. The difference that one person can make. Don't ever think that you can't change, you don't change anything. Sometimes one person can make all the difference. And it doesn't have to be cooking. It could be anything. Just, you know, some people just bring a smile to people's faces, and that counts for a lot. There's too much sadness in this world. If you can make somebody smile or say something pleasant to somebody to make their day, try to do it, because you don't know. Everybody's going through, everybody has their cross to bear. Everybody's going through something. However, nobody escapes life. Nobody, no matter how much money you have. So let me see. Oh, grown my own. How you doing? Welcome. If I missed anybody, please forgive me. I'm gonna try to go back through the chat and make sure I say hello to each and every person, because I appreciate you guys staying with me through this journey. Because growing stuff, sometimes it can go wonderful, and then you, like when I went on vacation, the some of them, now I'm not gonna say all of them passed away, but some of them passed away, and they were doing so well before I left, and it was a little disappointing, a lot disappointing, when I looked in there into the greenhouse and I saw they didn't dry up, they drowned. There was too much water in the reservoir, and they were in that little flat tray, and they just what do they call it? Dampened off. That's what happened. And they were big. They were big, like, well, they were smaller than these. They were as big as the smallest collard that I have here. And they just dampened off. You put too much water in those trays, or you put too much water in the reservoir for the type of pot that you have. You have to be so careful, because it's a balance. It's a balancing act. Now, for the bigger pots like this one, I could probably get away with a 1/2 inch of water. But for something like this one, this is what they were in. Very little water. You should not go above there. So that's 1/8 of an inch of water. So I learned my lesson for the next time. Next time, I'm just gonna take the plants out of that tray and put them into something bigger. Then I would have been all right. But I was rushing at the time. I had so many things to do that I just put them in a reservoir. I put everything in a reservoir. All the trees, all the pepper plants, anything that was in a pot, I tried that was not drought tolerant. I put into a reservoir. And the only thing that dampened off was the Asian cabbage. So I guess I did well. I wish I had done better, but yeah, I'm only human, right? You can only do what you can do. So I got enough soil. All right, I got enough soil to get this stuff done. And then I could plant these seeds and show you how I planted these in this, because we're gonna put some more plants in this. I never have enough soil to get these, to put some more seeds in there. We got one more collard. Then I'll show you the total number of collards that we just upplanted from those little pots. They didn't look like much, did they? You look at the beginning, when this stuff come out, they didn't look like this table full of plants that I have right here. But that's what you get when you bulk plant in a little planter. All right, we got this one, and we just pinch it back in, pinch the soil back in around it and stabilize it. This one was a little low, but it'll be all right. Okay, we'll put these to the side, but we're gonna use these in a minute, right? Let me show you the total. Move my chat away for a minute, and I'll go back to that in a minute. Let's see what we got without knocking this stuff down, because I'm a little bit clumsy if y'all haven't noticed. So this is our collards. We have 6 of them. See that? That came from, which one was it? This one. This is what we got from that little pot. 6 collards, 9 tree collards. I don't think I can show you everything. I'm gonna try. I will try. 9 tree collards and 6 collards. So move this back. So when you're planting, go ahead and do the same thing. I'm not doing this so that so that you all will know that you don't have to take up a little bit, and you don't have to take up a lot of room in order to start seedlings and these can go directly in the ground. They didn't have to go in these pots. The only reason why I'm doing it is because the insects are eating them up. Let me get up for a minute. Just a second. I just want y'all to see how many I have. One more. So, out of these 2 little pots, we got all of these. So there's 9 tree collards. There's 15 plants here. 15 seedlings. And these seedlings, look at them. They look better than the big box store, don't they? And it ain't cost me as much. That's the main thing. So let me move these out of the way, and we're going to plant some more seeds. And I'll get to the chat. Trying to give myself some room. Move these up. Forgive me, it's gonna take me a little while. They look so happy now. So much happier. I think I'll make the thumbnail the grow station when I put them over there. All right. Now that we've made a mess of the table, let's use these 2 little things to plant some more stuff. So I have all of the seeds that I want to plant in this little thing, right? So here's the bok choy that one is Shehu Baby from Baker Creek, and this one I got from the Amazing store. From, you know, it's probably they sell it, and I got it from the online. So I have 2 little pots here, and I'm gonna go ahead and get some of these seeds in. Now bok choy, you got to be careful with bok choy because they grow. How can I say it? They're not stringy like this. They grow robust. So I can't put as much seeds in here. Maybe I won't do the bok choy. I'll do 1 bok choy, and I'll do 1 early golden acre cabbage. And this is from the Dollar Tree. So let's use this little bitty one, the shorter one, in case I have to look back at it again. I got my pen here this time. And let's go ahead and put some cabbage seeds in here. So cabbage seeds are not that big. So you don't wanna, you wanna plant them as closer to the top than to the bottom. So you don't wanna plant them super deep. You want dirt over them, but you don't want a lot. You want dirt over them, just enough dirt so that they don't topple over. That's the rule. I didn't make the rule, I just gotta follow it. So the Dollar Tree, these seeds are about the same size as, and I'm not planting the whole thing. I got about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, about 16 seeds in my hand. And there's about a whole bunch of them left, right? So I take them and I sprinkle them about, right? No guarantees that they're not gonna be all bunched up together, but I try to separate them a little bit. And once they're in this soil, I can't see them because they're dark, and so is the soil. Then I take a little bit of soil and I sprinkle that on top. Not a lot, just enough to cover the seed, right? Like that, and then I press it down lightly, just to get the air pockets out. And there's our early golden acre cabbage planted. Moving on to the Shehu Baby Choy. I didn't put any plastic in here. So we're gonna go ahead and get some more soil. This is gonna be easy to identify because bok choy doesn't look like cabbage. They don't grow the same. They grow different. They look different. Now I put some soil in here. It looks like a lot, right? I gotta press it down. I'm gonna take a little bit off, just enough to cover the seed back up. Press it down, right? Don't smash it down. Just put a little bit of pressure on it. Uh-oh, I put too many in my hand. And I'm having to shovel them back in. Okay, I got about 12 seeds in my hand. I know you can't see it because they're super small. And I'm going to sprinkle them in. Now I can see them because they're a little reddish. Make sure I don't get it on my hand. Then I'm going to take the soil, sprinkle soil over it. Just a light sprinkle. And I'm going to pat it down. And that's it. Got them replanted. That is super easy, right? Now all you have to do is make sure that's there. Make sure you water them. Make sure they stay damp. Don't saturate it. Well, I do initially. Don't saturate, don't sit this in a bucket of water. All I do is make sure that it's watered at least 1 to 2 times a day. So if it, don't let it dry out unless it's already sprouted. Even then, when it first sprouts, make sure you keep it damp. For these seeds, I use this. They're about the same size as a tomato seed. They're a little bit smaller, but they're big enough for this. Because I put soil on top, I don't have to worry about it, the seeds moving about. Just make sure I put this super close and just squirt the water on until the bottom of this drips. I don't sit this in a reservoir because these are seeds. But if you're planting seeds, they don't bottom feed. As a matter of fact, these don't bottom feed until their roots become established. Don't let somebody tell you, hey, plant your seedlings and just bottom feed them, because they're going to dry out. The water, the roots are not there. They're not deep enough right now to capture the water. You got to wait a couple of weeks for the roots to come down in order for it to start sopping the water up. I don't trust it when I don't bottom feed. I don't bottom water newly planted seedlings. I water them from the top. A lot of people don't want to water from the top, and here's why. Bugs. They get, and I've had the problem. I had the problem this spring. We get those, what are they? The mite? What are they? Those gnats? That's what people are afraid of when they water from the top. But if you have newly seedlings, you don't really have a choice. Just make sure that your soil has enough drainage, and if there's not a reservoir on the bottom for the gnats to reproduce, you probably won't have much of a problem. If you're a gardener, you're gonna get gnats sooner or later. And it doesn't come from you. You buy it. It's in the soil that you buy. So don't feel bad if you get gnats. There are several ways to treat that. What did I do? What did I do to get rid of those gnats? I forget. There was something that I bought that just gets rid of them. I think you get it on Amazon, but the little gnats, once you get them, they are hard to get rid of. They can only survive in wetness, in dampness. So that's how you get rid of them. You dry your plants out. They were around for a while. I didn't have any whitefly. My neighbor did, because I was over there. Now whiteflies are totally different. Those are bad too. The gnats are worse though, because the gnats will be in your house. Whiteflies I've never had in the house. Whiteflies we had outside. So I don't bottom water, but that is why people bottom water. But if you bottom water, the gnats are just gonna go in the water on the bottom and start reproducing. They have to have a damp environment to reproduce. All right, let's get to the chat. Mosquito bits, that's what it is. Passionately Intrigued Arts and more, thank you. That's what I use. And let me tell you how I used it. I soaked it, I got a bowl or a reservoir, and I soaked it in the water that I watered with. Like this had mosquito bits in the bottom of it. And I just, every night I'll put mosquito bits in there, or I put some mosquito bits in there, I fill the reservoir up and let it sit overnight, and then I watered with them. And the mosquito bits, they have some kind of DEET or something in it, and it knocks them off. Thank goodness, because they were annoying. They will fly up in your eyes and your mouth, everything. They will attack you. They're not good insects. They're bad. And they'll kill your plants. All right. So let's see. Let me see what's going on in the chat. PIS just a little bit, my dear. Oh, a funeral. Okay. GT Junior grows and lasts. Said seeds. I got a lot of seeds too, but I don't know. You got a huge variety. You got some stuff I ain't got. I got the regular stuff. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Perfection Baking. How are you doing? Perfection Baking. A few ideas worked for me. The UV trap, cocoa core, dry layer on top, which remove the water and recover. A vacuum that just sucked them out of the air. It's so bad, especially if you're doing a live and they're flying around. You're like, just nobody knows what you're trying to swat because they can't see them, but they are annoying. Those things are super annoying. Passionately intrigued arts and more. I've got to make some mosquito bit water now. I have gnats that are irritating me because those things. Oh my goodness, that's just being a gardener. All of us get it. All of them get. I'm sorry, I don't mean to speak for everybody, but as far as I know, if you're a gardener, eventually, if you haven't had them, you probably gonna get them because you get them, and it's not you. You buy them in your potting soil. That's where they come from. What in the world? Thank you so much. I may have covered a small seed too much and they're not growing. Just keep watering it. But if they're super tiny, just sprinkle them on top. And you can water them with this, but you gotta be super careful because then the seeds will move around. And if they're rooting, it'll rip the roots. I use the mister and I just do this. That's how I do tiny, tiny seeds. I mist them. And I mist them like I'm OCD about misting because every time it looks a little damp. I got some alyssums over there because I'm trying to plant some flowers, and alyssum seeds are super small, and I spray them. I spray them with this thing every time I pass by them. I go ahead and mist them. Nothing wrong with that. Let me see. Passionately intrigued arts and more is just saying hi to Perfection Baking. How you doing? And Dream 59. How you doing? What in the world is talking? Does anybody have anything in reference to the tree collards and the collards? And then we planted bok choy and some more cabbage. Well, I'm done here. And I'm so glad that you all came for this upplanting of all of these plants. How many did we get? 15 done? 15 plants. And then we planted our seeds in the same container that we had the original 15 came from. From this to a table full of plants. There's all of our collards right here. Right? Regular collards right there. And here are all of our, let me move this out of the way. All of our tree collards. There's still more. keep on having to go reach over, and I'm short. There's a lot. From a little bit to a lot. Sometimes you think that you have less than what you have because everything is, you buy a lot of stuff, you think you have less than what you have. It happens all the time. You can spread it out. Once you start dividing these plants, you'll discover that you planted a lot. I know I did. Passionately intrigued and more. Are you going to keep them in the container or are you going to eventually put them out in the ground? The tree collards, some of them are going to stay in containers for the tree collards, right? Some are going to go in the ground. But if I put them in the ground, the freeze is going to get them and they're not going to be alive. Tree collards are perennials. That's why I want them. I was watching Kay Renee. She has them in her background. And I see them, right? And they're trees, right? And I typed in, because she was live and I wasn't live with her. And I said, what is that in your background? And she turned around. Oh, those are tree collards. I was like, oh, I gotta have them because they look like something that you would see in a safari. They are nice looking plants and I want them. So I'll probably take more than half and put them in pots and try to keep them as long as possible. The thing with me is that I'm gonna have to protect them from these insects because they were only outside for a little while and I pinched off some leaves, but look at that, they were eating through them. And spring, at the beginning of the chat, I know I'm saying the same thing. Spring, this past spring, our last spring, I had tree collards and they ate every last one of them. And they were on top of the table. They weren't in the ground. The insects ate them. They flew up there and got them. I will try the perfectly bacon. I will try the mosquito bit spray bottle for misting. I watered with it. I put it in the mustard. I put them in the water and I put them in this and I watered it because the mosquito, what are they called? The insects, the annoying gnats, they eat the fungus that is in the soil. So it's not on the leaves that they're eating. They're in your soil. That they come in the bags of dirt that you buy. So you have to saturate the soil to kill off the larvae or to, I don't know what it does. It stops them from reproducing. That's what it does. It doesn't necessarily kill the adults. And then if you want to kill the adults, I bought some of those sticky traps, excuse me. And they look like butterflies. And you stick them in there and the little gnats get stuck on it. But man, once you have them, it's like they multiply so quick that by the time you realize that you have a problem, because first you'll see one or two and you'll start doing this. What is that little thing flying around? And then a million of them will show up. It feels like a million of them. It freaks me out because I feel like they biting me. So I got rid of them with this mosquito bit water. And they live in your soil. So you have to put it on the soil, not on the leaves. The mister is not gonna do it. You have to saturate the soil with whatever that DEET, the mosquito bit DEET, gets in there. And that is not my idea. I got that from somebody else, another YouTuber. She told me to do it. And then she got gnats after me. What in the world? I had success with sprinkling cinnamon on top of the soil and misting the leaves with Listerine water mix. I've never tried that. I have tried, what is that stuff? And I burnt my plants. I'll never do that again. And I did it outside with the herb, I forget what it's called, neem oil. I mixed the neem oil with some Dawn dish liquid and some water, and I sprayed it on my plants outside, and that Texas sun came out and apparently realized it was oil, and it fried some of the leaves off of my plants. So I don't use the neem oil anymore. We don't need any extra frying out there because it's hot enough. And the plants are already struggling. The neem oil is what I don't know. But some cinnamon, I might try that. I've used cinnamon before. What did I use it for? I used it in the ground. I used that for some of the pests, and then I used what was that? I used cayenne pepper because I was tired of those rabbits. But the rabbits ate it anyway. They didn't care. It didn't work. I'll try the cinnamon though. Cinnamon does stop things though, because I used, when I have it, because cinnamon is super expensive, I use it in my chicken coop when I see ants in there. I use that and diatomaceous earth. Now, I don't recommend you putting diatomaceous earth in your garden because the diatomaceous earth does not discriminate. It annihilates everything, including the good insects, your worms, everything. So I try not to use it on my soil, but however, I do use diatomaceous earth in my coop. Let's see. Perfection baking. Wondering if cinnamon Mr. Bottle would work. Love cinnamon. Cinnamon smells so good, but it's not cheap. I guess the cheapest I've seen cinnamon is in the Dollar Tree. I don't know. I use it though, and insects don't like it. If they inhale, I know that if ants inhale cinnamon, they kaput. They don't like it. They'll leave. They don't like the sound. That and diatomaceous earth, the ants don't like that stuff. Perfection bacon. What in the world gave a thumbs up? Perfection Baking said, yeah, I want to buy a cinnamon tree. It's expensive. That's a good idea. That's a way to you know, not get spend all that money on cinnamon. A lot of the cinnamon that they're selling is not truly cinnamon. Some of it, there's different grades of cinnamon. If you get that super thin cinnamon, which is really expensive, that is the good stuff. The ones I get, they look like they don't chop the whole log off and just shaved. But it smells like cinnamon, so I don't know. Netta's Nest, how you doing? How you doing? We just finished planting tree collards and regular collards, and here they are. We got 15 plants out of 2 little pots. They came out of these. All of this came out of these 2. It can be done. It can be done. I've been doing it this way for years. So we talked about our tree collards. You don't have to do this with collard greens. You can do this with any plants. You just see me do bok choy and cabbage. You can do it with tomatoes, peppers. There is no plant that you cannot bulk plant with. Some are harder to separate than others, but you know, they all separate and they all can be up potted when they get, you know, sizable enough. I'm getting ready to get off. I hope that you all had a wonderful time. We've been on for about an hour, I guess. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life, and this is the upplanting of tree collards from 2 little cups. Go ahead and separate. I thank you guys for being with me. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, okay? Bye.